A lot of the time, I can tell within the first couple pages, first couple paragraphs, and sometimes the first couple sentences whether or not I'm going to like a book. So here are 6 of my favorite book openings. Light. The light of that murdered sun still burns me. I see it through my eyelids, blazing out of history from that bloody day, hinting at fires indescribable. It is like something holy, as if it were the light of God's own heaven that burned the world and billions of lives with it. I carry that light always, seared into the back of my mind. I make no excuses, no denials, no apologies for what I have done. I know what I am. If you liked that, then you should check out Empire of Silence by Christopher Rocchio, because so far the whole book is banger prose like that. I loved that. I read that first paragraph and I was like, say no more. I'm hooked. I'm into what this dude is selling. All happy families are alike. Each unhappy family is unhappy in its own way. If that felt like a bummer, that's because it is. It's from Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy, one of the great tragic love stories of forever. You should definitely check this out because it is beautifully written and I've never read anything else like it. Call me Ishmael. Some years ago, never mind how long precisely, having little or no money in my purse and nothing particular to interest me on shore, I thought I would sail about a little and see the watery part of the world. It is a way I have of driving off the spleen and regulating the circulation. Whenever I find myself growing grim about the mouth, whenever it is a damp, drizzly November in my soul, whenever I find myself involuntarily pausing before coffin warehouses and bringing up the rear of every funeral I meet, and especially whenever my hypos get such an upper hand of me that it requires a strong moral principle to prevent me from deliberately stepping into the street and methodically knocking people's hats off. Then I account it high time to get to sea as soon as I can. This is my substitute for pistol and ball. With a philosophical flourish, Cato throws himself upon his sword. I quietly take to the ship. That, of course, is Moby Dick by Herman Melville. I love that one because it's funny, but it's also dark. He's like, yo, whenever I feel a little bit like I better get on a boat, I was about to die. Worse, I was about to die with bastards. Not that I was afraid to die, but maybe who you die with is important. It's important who's with you when you're born, after all. If everybody's wearing clean linen and silk and looking down at you squirming in your bassinet, you'll have a very different life than if the first thing you see when you open your eyes is a billy goat. That is The Black-Tongued Thief by Christopher Bielman. It's funny, it's quick to the point, it gives you insight into Kinch's sense of humor, and the whole book is witty like that. So if you like to laugh, check out The Black-Tongued Thief. At the height of the long wet summer of the 77th year of Sendavani, the thief-maker of Comore paid a sudden and unannounced visit to the eyeless priest at the temple of Perilandro, desperately hoping to sell him the Lamora boy. The Lies of Loch Lamora by Scott Lynch, as if the Lamora boy didn't give that away. I love this one because it is so good at world building. One, the Lamora boy is apparently somewhat troublesome. Eyeless priest, Temple of Perilandro, so there's 3 pronouns to deal with. The thief-maker of Comore, so we learn that we're probably in Comore. Also, there's somebody who's making thieves. It just is such good world building in like 4 sentences. You should read The Lies of Loch Lamora. I would have lived in peace, but my enemies brought me war. I watched 1,200 of their strongest sons and daughters, listening to a pitiless golden man speak between great marble pillars, listening to the beast who brought the flame that gnaws at my heart. All men are not created equal, he declares, tall, imperious, an eagle of a man. The weak have deceived you. They would say the meek should inherit the earth, that the strong should nurture the gentle. This is the noble lie of democracy, the cancer that poisoned mankind. For as much as I sometimes dislike the overly flowery, sentimental prose of Pierce Brown, sometimes the man has bangers, and that is the intro to the prologue of Red Rising, which undoubtedly dozens of you at home are like fist pumping, being like, Jeff said something nice about Red Rising. You're welcome.